Hello and welcome to NDTV Profit. You're watching IPO Adda, and the company in focus today is RBZ Jewelers. The company is coming out with an IPO which opens on December 19th, closes on December 21st. Price between 95 to 100 rupees a share. It's an issue of 100 crores, and the company is valued at roughly around 400 crores at the upper end of the price band. And joining me is Harit Zaveri, who is the Joint Managing Director of the company. Harit, give us a sense of the kind of operation that you do and which are the verticals that you have.
Thanks, Ajit. So RBZ is controls a complete value chain when it comes to the industry. Majorly, we are a manufacturer, a B2B wholesale player, and we have a retail established showroom in Ahmedabad as well. So on the wholesale and the job work side, we supply or manufacture our antique gold jewelry to major retailers across the country and all the corporates of pan-India corporates. When it comes to the organized manufacturing, I think we are one of the most preferred player. There is the strength of the company is basically to have an in-house manufacturing capability. And I can say that the four pillars of companies are: they have a strong design team, which are professional designers. There's a quality control department, which is, we are very vigilant in that, and there's an in-house laboratory for fire assay. Also, there is in-house karigars and modern machineries. So I think this four pillars of makes RBZ wholesale division a very robust one. When it comes to retail, we have our 11,000 square feet retail presence in Ahmedabad, and I think it's one of the most established and a leading player. We are one of the leading player in Ahmedabad for that matter.
So Harit, can you give us a sense of you're raising 100 crores? What is this 100 crores going to be used for?
So majorly the funds are going to be used for working capital purpose. This will create more product. We'll have an expansion of our product portfolio. That is how we will have more customers. We will offer more customers more wider range of jewelry. Now, as a B2B division, when you offer more jewelry, you are bound to get substantial number of orders because the design portfolio is vast. And at the same time, a little bit, that portion, I think the working capital is the need of the hour right now in the company, and the utilization in in establishing the right kind of a product portfolio and gaining orders and getting the right kind of return on investment would be the key. So yes, the funds will be deployed on working capital purpose.
So if I look at your revenue mix, which is today, you are roughly around 43% or so comes out of wholesale, 41 from retail, and job work is around 3.6, 3.7%. So is the endeavor to increase the wholesale portfolio going forward, or you will be focusing on retail as well?
So Sajid, if you really want to understand RBZ's business, it is more stronger if you understand it by volumes. Now, when you go down to volumes, you will see that 50-55% of the business comes, like 600 kg is the volume that RBZ has done through job work, and rest among the 1059 kg, and rest is done by wholesale and retail mix. So in that sense, I can tell you that yes, when you look at the the company with its business model does a total volume of around 1059 kgs, which values is around 550 crores. With that value, with that volume, we have a bottom line of around 22.33 crores. So in this sense, the whole synergy is not about retail, wholesale and job work. The synergy would be actually just two. There is a retail and there is a wholesale. In wholesale, there are people who are giving us advance money because of our strength. Now that is getting converted into job work. So in this case, there are only two synergies that are there as a business. One is retail part and one is the wholesale part. Now, the money is getting deployed into the wholesale and the job work segment, or the wholesale as a synergy. So, yes, I think I have answered the question then.
So tell me something. Can you give me the kind of margins that these two big segments work for you? Because if you are looking at job work as part of wholesale and you have a retail segment as well, what is the kind of margins that these two segments account for?
So again, Sajid, if I had to tell you about margins, see on the context of financials, if you look at it, the job work will just constitute about the labor portion, right, and not the value portion. Let's say if I have done a job work of 614 kgs, it translates to the value of around 300 crores, but then in the top line it will just have a volume effect of around 9 crores or so. So in terms of, let me just guide you in terms of my margins in terms of volumes. So retail will have a higher margin and job work will have the lowest margin. Wholesale margin will be more in between the retail and the job work. I think this is a fair idea of margin that I have given you. But on the return on investment side, I think job work has a better return on investment, and retail and wholesale still has a return on investment of around 18 to 22%.
It's interesting because you are trying to concentrate on the wholesale part where you need more working capital to expand your work, and on the retail side you already have a unit which is already there in Ahmedabad. So is there a plan to expand your retail units as well, or outlets?
See, we have a strong showroom of 11,000 square feet. We will be expanding one floor space of around 3,300 square feet. But as far as the showroom size is concerned, the 11,000 square feet showroom can have a top line of around 500 crores or plus, or around 800 kilos in terms of volumes. So yes, there is already a 3x capacity when it comes to retail showroom headroom. When it comes to wholesale, we have a complete clear scale to grow, and yes, we are focused in wholesale and job work, or wholesale as a proper synergy thing that I can tell you.
So when I was talking about the retail part of it, I'm looking from a point of view of going beyond Ahmedabad, because your biggest unit is in Ahmedabad. Are you looking at multi-cities outside Gujarat? Because your customers are not only there in Gujarat, but they are there in 22 states. So are you looking at setting up newer retail outlets in various segments, various states and cities?
So Sajid, right now I'm raising 100 crores of funds, right? So 100 crores translate to approximately 150 crores of volumes. Now with this much amount of capital, I think one proper retail showroom would require a capital of around 70 or 80 crores. So you can expect that, the whole funds and things are more focused on the wholesale part and the job work part. And I think we are getting good return on investments on that part, and we are strongly wanting to become a leading organized manufacturer, because there is a clear dealing. See, retail is already organized 40% as per the industry reports, and wholesale or manufacturers are 85% unorganized. So I want to more have focus on the manufacturing side and cater to the dealing that is there. So RBZ would be one of the strongest, manufacturers in place for catering, to the established and organized retail players, if I had to mention.
So how do you place yourself within the jewelry market, as a whole? Because you have key national jewelers who are at the retail on top of it. You are the intermediary because you're doing the wholesale work for them, and then you have the jobbers which comes below that. So from a market point of view, you would be known as an intermediary which is supplying to the nationwide retail outlets, and so the valuation should be looked at from that point of view.
So again, coming to the question, see, RBZ is a manufacturer of antique jewelry. Now, when you talk about the wholesale division, whatever we manufacture and we sell, that comes under the wholesale part. But because of the strength of RBZ, we also get advanced metal. Now, those advanced metal, we do that as a job work, just for a making charge when we have a making charge. So actually in the industry to have this kind of a model itself, wherein you can command an advanced metal from the customer, is itself a strength. So yes, if you want to look at RBZ, you should look at RBZ in its complete value chain. That RBZ today is doing a tonnage volume of, let's say, 1 or 1.2 tons, and in future the tonnage volume will increase, keeping in mind the retail and the wholesale and the job work part. So yes, there will be an established retail chain which is having a headroom to grow around 500-600 crores, and the retail and the wholesale volume can actually grow at have a strong scale to grow. It's a 300-ton market when it comes to the occasion jewelry, and getting into an organized segment, it's still an 84 to 85 to 100 tons market. So I think we are just 1% of the organized manufacturing right now, and because of the dealing that is there, I think we have a strong headroom to grow. But as if you want to, I think valuation is more on the part of an analyst. But I think and RBZ controls the complete value chain from wholesale to retail and manufacturing as well. So yes, I think. So on that front, it is upon the investors how they look at it. I can just give you my head side.
Yeah. So if I was to look at your volumes, 88% was in gold, and diamond and others were 11.74%. So does the margins differ when you deal directly with gold and studded jewelry? Margins are different. Where does the higher margins lie for you?
Correct. Correct, Sajid. Margin differs, but so does the working capital cycle, right? So when you deal with diamond, you might have a higher margin, but then the working capital cycle does, get a little low. And when you deal with gold, the margins are a little low, but then the working capital cycle becomes fast. So if you talk on the return on investment part, we are bang on. We are in gold, and we are, and we are in the zone where the Indian consumers are strongly and sentimentally connected with gold as an investment part. And I think yes, on the return on investment part, we are right. I think the companies, the companies is actually looking forward that if we have 100 rupees, how much value can we generate, or how much profit can we generate with that amount of money. And I think if you check on my return on net worth or return on capital employed, you will get the answers.
Mm-hmm. So in the first half you did 17.3%.
It's just not about the Sajid, I'm so sorry, Sajid, if it just had to convey, it is not just about the margins, brother, but also about the complete, the complete return on investment or the capital employed side and the synergy that it brings.
So give me a sense of, when you say that you in first half you had a 17.3% of EBITDA margins. Given your current strategy, is there enough headroom for you to go higher?
Yes, I think economies of scale will get into place, and I think the margins or things are more dependent on the business model. See, if I am doing more amount of job work, or let's say more amount of retail, the margins are subjectively to grow. And if I am doing more of wholesale, there will be more of the working capital cycle will revolve more faster. That will have a strong top line. And the bottom line also there. But I think the correct path to understand RBZ Jewellers Limited will to actually understand its volume data. So if you get into the volume data, by 1059 kgs, that translates to, let's say, 550 crores. We are making around 22 crores. So I think this would be a right track to judge RBZ. The EBITDA level and the PAT margin can go 1% or 2 here and there based upon the business model. If we get more job work or more wholesale or more retail, that can be plus and minus, because the whole job work component just gets extrapolated into making charge type. It doesn't. The value does not come there, right? So. I think I have made myself more clear, Sajid. If I can, if you really want me to still explain it, I can.
No, I get it. I just want to understand also about your relationship with many of the pan-India based jewelers. You have relationship with Titan, you have relationship with Malabar, Joy Alucas, Senco, Kalamandir, PN Gadgil. These are some of the big guys who are there either in pan-India or in organized market. How has the business been with them? I mean, are they growing every year? And is it so? so the growth of their business is also linked to your growth, right? In that sense.
Sajid, see, if you look at the industry does a volume growth of around 2 to 2.5%. Let's say if I have done a turnover of, let's say, rupees 100 in fiscal year 19, okay, and now if I'm doing a turnover of, let's say, 200 rupees in fiscal year 23. So, on a broader level, this determines that I have grown by volume at 0%, whereas my growth in volume might be, let's say, at 18 or 22%. So in this case, if you look at RBZ is not only growing by value, it is actually growing by volumes. We are at fiscal 21, we are at 622 kilos, and at fiscal 23 last year, we are at 1059 kg, and I think that we would be able to maintain the volume growth here on also. So this is actually the key for RBZ. If the industry is, let's say, growing at 2.5% in volume, RBZ is growing at a much stronger pace than that. And just to quote, like, we might be growing at around 10 to 15% by volumes, and that actually shows the inherent strength of the company when it delivers volume growth.
Finally, you do export.
So you can actually indirectly translate this into a stronger relationship with, the mega retailers or the retail chain in India, and also the strength of RBZ, that the design capabilities and the manufacturing capabilities that it has. But yes, volume growth itself speaks a lot about the industry and an industry player.
Finally, you also do export to Middle East. Can you share some light into what kind of business that is? Is it also a wholesale kind of business, or is it what kind of business is that?
Sati, RBZ makes jewelries for Indian customers. So wherever Indians are there, generally the jewelries are more delivered, to those customers, be it Middle East or any other, countries. But Indians are more in India, so we are primarily a domestic player. We are more focused on that. But yes, Middle East and all, we do wholesale to Middle East and its customers. And I think those retail chains which are present in India are also present in Middle East. So you can understand with whom we will be doing business there.
Harit, it was a pleasure talking to you today. Your IPO is opening on December 19th, closes on 21st, price between 95 to 100 rupees a share. It's a fresh issue of 100 crores, and that gives the company a market cap of, or market value of, over 400 crores at the upper end of the price band. Thank you for watching NDTV Profit and coming on IPO Adda.